Alright, good evening. It's late, but I have made a ton of progress, so I'm going to do this super duper quick. Finally, one of the parts from China turned up. So we have a little bit more progress, but I've done a lot more since then. So as you can see, we've now got a one-to-one replica. This is the standard memory card, and as you can see down here, this, oh man, focus up. Yeah, there you go. So this is the memory card that I've built, and if I pull it out, you can see, hello, little SD card. So the way that sits in there, I've basically just chiseled out, and I mean literally chiseled out, with knives and sharp implements, this piece of Perspex, and that just sits over that little SD card reader. So I can pop that little SD card whenever I like. That SD card goes to an extender, which then goes into the Pi. I've also added another button. That button has taken me because I'm a man that doesn't know anything about Linux. I'm just basically learning. It's taken me, I started this yesterday morning, and it's now the evening the next day, how to make a fully programmable, customizable button. So this button can be anything. At the moment, if you press this button, it just quits back to emulation station. That's what it does at the moment. But I can assign this button to anything, whether it be pause the emulator or swap disks or whatever. It's completely up to me. I can do with it what I like. Okay, so we've got the memory card in there, and this little memory card, you can just pop it in and out. If I had fingernails, it'd be a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, you just pop it in and out. Like, I can't do this one-handed as it is. But yeah, you just tap it in with your fingernail, and out it comes. See? Little, one hand. The memory card. So you can just pop that in, and then to make it look nice, essentially, that just goes over the top. And then I have my standard plug, which came with the PlayStation Classic, but it doesn't go to the PlayStation Classic. It goes to my fully modded DualShock with no connectors or anything else. Just comes straight out of there, straight into that, straight into there, straight over, well, with that over the top. Right, I've done one other thing to the outside of the box, at least. I've taken off a lot of the stickers, and the last sticker that I took off, as well as that stupid 18 certificate sticker, is back here. I've made basically my own label for it. It just says PlayStation Legacy now, which is what I think it is. And other than that and the fan and the memory card expansion port, you would never know that this thing's been modded. Outside, it looks exactly the same. When you turn it on, you'll see the drive light, you know what I mean? And then you'll go, oh, right, yeah, that's different. Other than that, you'd never know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pause now, hook this thing up. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put the HDMI in player 2 still, so player 2 is just here. But because I'm still waiting for the other cable to turn up, so I'm going to pause it, hook up the power, hook up the HDMI, and then I'll show you the one other thing that I've got running, and it's particularly cool. But yeah, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, well, as you can see, it's a bit of a mess in there. Not pretty, I know, but let me quickly break it down to you. So we've got two momentary buttons. We've got this one, which is the power switch, and this one, which is my fully customizable retro arch switch. So I can literally program that to do anything. At the moment, you just press this button here, and it clicks down on there, and it exits back to emulation station. That's what it can do at the moment, but I can basically make it do anything. This fan here is a two-stage switch, so click one on, click two, oh, and that turns on the fan, which is linked to the reset button, which was the old reset button here. The power button here is the starts a script, which will power on and shut down. This here is a drive light, so the drive light flashes where the power light used to be. It's now a drive light, so it pulses every time it accesses the SD card. This is an SD card extender, which goes around into the SD port, and I've wired up my own USB ports from the back of the USB, what's this, like casing, essentially the shielding here. Pop that off, clip the connectors for the top USBs, so this is player 1 here, this is player 2 here, and they plug in here. As I say, the little memory card just sits over. I wonder if I can do this one-handed. Let's have a quick look. Yep. Okay, so there's a little SD card extender in there, and the 128 gig SD card there, and the standard USB from the Classic goes around into the fully modded. This is a 22-year-old DualShock 1, pristine condition, but I've modded it for USB. Right, so let's have a quick look at what it does. I'm going to quickly turn off this thing here. A lot similar to last time, but low. So let's press or simulate pressing the power button, which would be here. Click. Drive light starts lighting up, so the drive light will pulse. Again, it looks more impressive when it's in there. All right, then we're going to do this. So start screen, this messes with the focus. There we go. So again, I said this in my last video as well. I'm trying to do the PlayStation, or I'm trying to build the PlayStation Classic that we should have got. I understand licensing. I understand why you can't put Tony Hawk's on there. I understand why you can't put Gran Turismo on there. I understand all of that. I also understand keeping costs down. But this thing, the costs of... Oh my god, if this thing had any more corners cut, it would roll. Seriously, it's just cheap plastic, cheaply put together. The joypads are shockingly put together. It doesn't have a DualShock, because that would obviously up the price, but still, like... I've managed to build this for less than what this costs new so far. And it's taken me a while to do it, but still. Right, here's the one thing that they should have done, which would have cost them nothing, or very little at the least. Right, so I'm in the menu right here. So I'm just gonna use my joypad. So we've got all the games here: Aliens, Alone in the Dark, Apocalypse, starring Bruce Willis, all others and whatnot. And this is where it starts. When you turn it on, it goes here, right? It doesn't go anywhere else. It goes straight to the PlayStation. There's no other games. There's no SNES, no Mega Drive, no nothing. If I go back, you can see there's only one thing: RetroPie and PlayStation. And also these are little custom. I've been using a scraper, but I haven't actually scraped with the scraper. I've been using it to build these little things with the 1-player and the 2-player stuff up there. That's beside the point. Here's what Sony could have done at the very least. I have a screensaver on here. It's a video screensaver. It's a video screensaver of a video that's on Sony's YouTube channel right now. You can watch it there right now. It's celebrating the legacy of the PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1's adverts were legendary. In the States, not so much, but in the UK, they were legendarily good. They won awards for them. Why would they not use that? So when you let this thing sit, you can set it for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Instead of rolling a demo or just playing screenshots and some music like last time, it now runs 90s PlayStation ads, including, but not limited to, all of these that I put on. So this is just a little screening burn from a VHS tape, which I thought was really cool. And then it loads, it just basically cycles adverts. One of which is this one, known as the Double Life advert. It's one of the greatest, it's arguably not just, not just me that says this, I mean people have debated this, it's arguably one of the greatest adverts ever made. And it's on Sony's YouTube channel right now. You can watch this. So this is running in about as high a resolution as it can. This is running in 720 by, yeah, I think it's running in 720. And as you can see, while it's doing that, it's accessing the drive light, so that will flash every time. It'll look a lot better when it's put together. But yeah, so what this will do, this will cycle through all the adverts. So it will cycle through this advert, it will cycle through, that kid's the best. It will cycle through this advert, the Crash Bandicoot advert, it will cycle through the Saps advert, which is another, this guy, you see him on the One Show all the time. So yeah, I hate to talk over that because I think it's personally one of the greatest things ever written. But yeah, anyway, then it will just cut through all the things. This is the You Are Not Ready trailer. Then it will play the Saps trailer. Then it will play the one with Crash Bandicoot shouting down a megaphone outside Nintendo. Like, let me just stop this. Why would they not do that? It's the least they could have done. They own the rights to that. Use it. Like, if you're going to celebrate the PlayStation, do it right. I am doing more to preserve the PlayStation legacy than Sony are. Anyway, peace.